Hey guys, so we completed the patching for three products, Lifecycle Manager, VIDM, and then VRA. Now let's look into the steps for patching vRealize Operations Manager. Basically, the procedure remains the same. We just go to the main advisory, look for vRealize Operations Manager, and we do see that it is one of the impacted product. And good that we see there is a fix which is in version 8.6.2. So customers who are willing to move to 8.6.2 are protected, but not many would be doing an upgrade right away. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to patch, the CVE instead of upgrading it straight away to 8.6.2. The upgrade should be the same. Like how do you upgrade from 8.3 to 8.4 or 8.4 to 8.5? So the upgrade process is same. So the patching is something which is new. So let me show you how to do the patching. Now, the impacted product is 8.x, and in my lab, the version which I am running is 8.2. Okay, so 8.2 is still affected. Let's see here. Okay, 8.0.x to 8.6, it is affected, and then there are a few notes which you can read through. Like for ARC, the application remote controller, we can follow the same steps what we follow for patching the vRealize operations manager, the primary replica data node. And then for application version 8.4 and above for ARC, where a cloud proxy is in use, follow the workaround mentioned in the cloud proxy. So in my setup, I don't have a cloud proxy. So basically my version is 8.2. So I will show you the steps on how to patch 8.2, the analytic VM, and the same steps apply for the application remote controller as well. Now, first thing is we have to make sure we take a snapshot. And this snapshot is not straightforward. Usually we just right click, take snapshot, but then for VROPS, we just have to do one step more, which is we have to take the cluster offline first and then do the patching. So sorry, not patching, the snapshot. So let me go to my VROPS. Right, my cluster shows it is online right now. So let me go to the admin login. So even for the patching, right? So this KB is basically on how to take a clear, safe snapshot on vRealize operations. So we have to take the cluster offline and then click on take offline. So this is in the admin console what we are trying to do. So this is straightforward. Even in patching, the first step would be to take the cluster offline. So what I'm going to do is I'm just taking the cluster offline first and then doing a snapshot. So let me log in as an admin. Right? And I'm going to take my cluster offline. Patching. Yeah, okay. So let's give it a few seconds to take it offline. Yeah, and make sure you have this SSH enabled because we will be taking a party session to run a few scripts. So while it's doing this, let's go ahead and see the steps. All right, so log into this, take it offline, okay, and then we have to take a snapshot. Now let's see, the third one is download this data rc witness and vrops.sh. Okay, so data RC, and then there was other one which is vRops-log4j fix, this one. So we're downloading two files and then put it in the /temp of your machine, the appliance. Okay, so once it's downloaded, let me take a WinSCP connection to my vRops to transfer the file, login as root, and the password. All right, so it's the same thing. I think my vRops root password is expired. Let me go ahead and reset it. So let me, it's been a while. I worked on this. So this is a nice way to validate if the password is correct or not. Basically, I think I forgot my root password. Let's try again. Right, let me just quickly check from my database what's the password. Just give me a minute. All right, guys, so the vRops cluster is offline and I was able to reset the root password. So let's try connecting back now. Let me open it again. Start local. There you go. So it's working now. So basically I had to reset the root password. It's been a while, so I didn't reset. So it didn't allow me to win SAP or do SSH. All right, so let's follow the KV. So we have to copy these two files to temp location. So I already have the files downloaded. Let me change my directory to /temp and then move these two files. All right, so that's done. Now and witness SSH. Okay, let's take an SSH session to vRops.local, login as root, the new password which I set, right? Now let's change the directory to temp. And then the first command is change mode for the data file. And then again, we do the change mode for the vRops file. Okay, so the step number 8, we have to run the data, which is completed. And then we run the 9th one is vRops. So this is the actual fix. Ensure there is no error message. So we did not get any error for the step number 8, which we run. Everything was successful. And in the step number 9, we are doing the actual fix. So let's see. It is basically searching for the jar file which is affected by this Log4j vulnerability. So let's give it some time. And yeah, the cluster is also offline. Okay, so these are the files which are impacted. So we have to do the patching, which is already done. The 25 impacted jar files started to patch, and I think it is completed. So the patch is completed. Now we have to run this command to restart the service. So let's go ahead and copy this and run the command. And then bring the cluster online. So it's pretty simple than what we did in the previous video for vRealize automation. So let's see how long this takes. And this one has to be done on all the nodes. In my case, I just have a single VROPS, but then if you have the replica data, you have to do it on all of them. So once that's done, I don't have a cloud proxy, so we can skip this. And let's see, these are the steps to validate if the patching has been successful. So the service has been restarted. Now we can go ahead and bring the cluster online. Let's see if the UI is accessible. I'm just refreshing it once. All right, so let me log in. And then as per the step here, we will first get the cluster online, which is step number 11. We have to log in and then bring the cluster online. So we'll wait for the cluster to show online. Right, it took a few minutes for the cluster to be online. The cluster is online now. And then we will run this command here to validate our patching. There should be output from the above command. If there was no output on the particular nodes, it was not successful. So let's see what's the output we get. And copy the command correctly. So what's the command? Let me start a new session. Okay, so we do see an output. So I'm not sure how to validate this, but then let's keep it simple. There should be output. We have an output. If there's no output, that's when we have to be worried. So it is good. And we also have one more way to validate is run this to verify. It should say no impacted jar files. So let's go cd to temp again, and then run the same file, which is vrops. Let's see. Yeah. So it's searching for the impacted jar files, and the output should be no impacted .jar files found. Let's see what we get here. And the very important note here is the below content has been updated on 15th of December. So previously, even though you have run this particular fix, we have to make sure we rerun the entire steps what we did today to work around this vulnerability. So do not skip this. All right, so we see that no impact.jar file found. So this concludes the patching of vRealize Operations Manager for Log4j. And thank you for watching. And there will be one last video on how to patch vRealize login site.